Hi, and welcome back. This is the Real Estate Investing Hour. I'm Nick Vertucci, and we got a lot more for you here. Well, you guys did it. You just destroyed our phones at the break, which is actually a good thing. I mean, our lines lit up like you couldn't believe. And let me tell you something, that's a good thing because people want to be at this next event. This next event this month, call and get that information so we can give you the time, the dates, and all the specifics. But listen, it's going to be great. We got a ton of incredible properties that we're going to display at this event. There is no obligation at all. The worst that can happen, like I said before the break, is that you can get 2 hours of an education that I promise most of you do not have, or do not have some of these fundamentals that I'm going to give you about the type of real estate market you're in. You can take that information with you and do with it what you will, but it's definitely a huge value, and I love doing it because I love what I do. So if you missed that number, you want to be part of this event. You want to start investing in your future, and you want to start putting your money that you have that's probably sitting in cash to work. It's sitting there in cash, and it's depreciating, and we're going to talk a little bit in the show why that is. And you just want to get some knowledge in the market, then the way to do that is you got to dial this number. It's 800-328-6418. That's 800-328-6418, 800-328-6418. And we can send you that information via email. You can watch an online webinar anytime right from your home that has me kind of breaking down what we do. You can get that information that way, but you have to call in. Let us have your information. We do not sell it. We don't send it to anyone else. If this isn't for you, or you decide after we tell you what this is all about, you don't want to be part of it, we just get rid of your information. We have no use for it. So give us a call and get your name on that next event because it's going to be a good one. Now, before the break, I told you a little bit. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is the Real Estate Investing Hour. I'm your host, Nick Vertucci. I'm a professional real estate investor. What that means is that's what I do for a living. I am not a radio show host. This is not what I do for a living. I told before the break why I do this. I do this because I've created a system to help you invest in real estate safely. You know, the number one thing that happens is people always say, gosh, I missed that cycle. Hindsight's 2020. I wish I could have done this. But the reason people do not invest in real estate is A, they do not have the time to go figure out how to do that safely. They don't have the resources to do it, and that creates fear. So you will not go out there and take advantage of the best buying time you've ever been in your life, in our nation's history as a real estate market, because you just don't want to take your hard-earned money and waste it or squander it. Now, there are some folks that will, and they take more risks, and they go out there and they do invest, but they do invest in something that's a negative cash flow that they didn't prepare for. They don't know how to hold it properly, and they wind up letting it go back to the bank, and it becomes kind of a bad taste in their mouth, and they don't want to invest in real estate anymore. And that's a tragedy, because this is the best business our nation has ever seen. It's created more billionaires and millionaires of any other industry, and real estate in the United States of America is still the golden goose. But you have to know how to do that safely. I've created a system to help you do that. You're investing in the same markets I am, buying the same single-family residences I am, with the same infrastructure and support that I've created. You are part of a big movement, and we are all being blessed for that. These properties are in Indiana, in Indianapolis, the heart of Indiana, and we have a full team on the ground there to support this, so you can lose the fear of being in a different state from where your property is, because you have professional management and professional investors with you. That is a no-brainer, but you have to vet this, and everybody vets differently, and to do that, you have to dial this number to get the information. And man, I tell you, if you could be at our next event that's coming up this month, it's a free event, it is a no-brainer for you to be there. But to do that, you have to call before the end of this hour. And I keep reiterating that because I have people call after the end of the hour and they don't get us. So understand, our call takers leave. So I want you to speak to a body. That's 800-328-6418. 800-328-6418. Show1-8. There's a reason that our show produces more calls than any other show that's on this station. It's because there is not anyone out there doing what we do, the Nick Vertucci Companies, at the level we're doing it. We are completely candid about how we do it. We want you to vet our system. We don't expect you to do anything unless you're vetting, and you never will spend a dime unless you're investing in real estate for yourself. You will not share any ownership with anybody. You will not be asked to do something that we wouldn't do ourselves, and this is the real deal, and that's why we did over 300 properties last year for investors just like you who heard the show for the first time, called in, came to an event, met with me, vetted the system. However you do that, we allow you to do that your way, and then move forward and took properties and are now cash flowing them successfully right now and building their future. Because listen, let me tell you something. I know firsthand what it's like to go from the top to the bottom and then back up again. And I lived for 3 or 4 years in absolute fear, paralyzed with it, because I started a technology company in 1989, and it was a huge success. Long story short, I didn't take any of my monies or any of my profits and invest in anything that's long-term or any real estate except the house I bought that I lived in. And when my company crashed, about 8 years ago, when the tech boom crashed and we had 9/11 and some other things that happened, I went through the toughest time in my life and lost everything that I owned, and I got into real estate on a whim. Somebody brought me to a free event, just like I'm telling you about. I learned some strategies, and I took it to another level, and this business has changed my life. And I focus on one thing: building cash flow. I'm going to show you how to build cash flow, passive income, something that you can have coming into your mailbox no matter what you do, whether you're still working, investing, sleeping, vacationing, taking your time and spending it how you want to spend it. But listen, it's not an easy road. You have to do that safely, and it has to be done for you personally, because no one else is going to secure your future but you. It has changed my life, but listen, I went through a ton of sleepless nights. It was the toughest time in my life before I got into this business, and it took some years before I actually started seeing the light. But I did it, and I want to tell you about it, and I want to show you about it. I'll never give you any hype. I tell you the true story of how it happened with me and how it can happen for you. But it is a lot of work, but the only way that it happened for me is because I took action. All right? I saw an opportunity, I took action, and I took it to another level. I want to see that happen for you. And listen, I don't stand on my soapbox and tell you, look, I just love helping people. I want this for you, because that is true. That is true. It excites me, and I love this business. But you moving forward on investment properties also helps our company, and it helps me buy more properties for my personal portfolio. This is a win-win situation for both of us, and I plug you into basically a franchise concept. If this is starting to interest you and you want to know how to make 15% on your money, anywhere from 10 to 20%, and it depends how you buy the property, whether you buy it cash or with financing, and I need to break that down for you later when we have more time, but that is a huge return, and that does not include things like appreciation, depreciation, interest write-offs, making a business out of holding just a property or two, where I can show you on your tax life how you could save thousands of dollars just by holding a property and making a business out of this. And I'm going to talk more about that. But before I do that, if you want to know more about this, you want to start investing in your future safely with just a little money out of your pocket in the best real estate market in our nation, Indianapolis, Indiana, then you need to dial this number. The number is 800-328-6418. 800-328-6418. Please call before the end of the hour. Don't wait till after. You're going to miss us. It's 800-328-6418. If you're in your car, pull over. Do it now. Do it safely. Do it any way you can, but that is the only way for us to connect. And listen, I want to tell you this right now. For those of you who just heard, hey, Indianapolis, Indiana, that's a little too far for me. Nah, I want to invest local. Don't you have anything in California? Listen, stop that nonsense. That is just your fear, your lack of knowledge in this business. And that, don't take offense to that. It is, because that's how I thought myself too. But listen, if the savvy investors, the ones that are the most wealthy, had that mind frame that they can just invest down the street from where they live, they wouldn't be who they are today. You have to learn how to do it at a professional level, get over that fear, and I'm going to show you how to do that so you can do this as a business and not a hobby. If you want to be a landlord and drive to your property and fix toilets, don't call this show, because I don't do that. I don't condone it, and it's just not something that you're going to like real estate if you make that attempt at it. This is owning real estate at a professional level with an infrastructure to support it. If you want to know more about that, you want to know more about this market and learn a strategy, I'm basically going to teach you the strategy. You can go do this yourself. You don't have to do any business with our company. I could care less, because I'm going to tell you something right now. I know that I've built something so safe and so we've done it so many times that it's a no-brainer to plug into it. But listen, if you want to do this yourself and you want to learn a strategy, I'm going to give you 2 hours of free information that has a huge value to it that I paid for to go get that information that I'm going to give to you. It's this month, a free event. If you're interested and you want to talk to me personally for a meeting, you need to call 800-328-6418. 800-328-6418. One more time, 800-328-6418. We're going to a break right now, but I want you to call in right now and leave your information. And believe me, I don't expect you to know everything I'm talking about, because we're giving limited information, but we're going to get you that information. We're going to be back after this break. This is the Real Estate Investing Hour. I am Nick Vertucci. It is all real estate all day, and we're coming back, and we got a ton more for you. So we'll see you after the break.